The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in People, NAPTIP, has raised alarm that traffickers are now recruiting and trafficking girls from Mali to Edo State for prostitution and exploitation. The commander of NAPTIP Benin Zone, Barrister Nduka Nwanini, who disclosed this during a roadwalk to mark the 2023 World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. The theme of this year is Reach Every Victim of Trafficking, Leaving No One Behind, was a call for increased collaboration among key players in the anti-human trafficking circle, adding that it presented an opportunity to raise awareness on the emerging trends and development regarding vulnerable groups targeted by human traffickers. The federal government has been advised to reverse the new retirement age regime for workers and disregard further agitations by labor unions on the issue. A professor of guidance and counseling University of Ilorin, Unilorin, Mary Grace Fajoyomi, recommended this to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration in her 55-page booklet to mark the 238th inaugural lecture of the university. She noted that the increasing of the retirement age will worsen the unemployment rate for many young graduates, especially those from tertiary institutions. She said, contrary to the demand of labor on the issue, the reality was that Nigeria needed to reduce the retirement age of senior workers to drastically address unemployment. She said this will lead to not only frustration but other social, psychological, and mental problems that were plaguing youth in the country. At least 6 farmers, including the vice chairman of Jama'atul Izalatul Bid'ah wa Iqamatus Sunnah Jibris, Yakubu Muhammad, were reportedly killed in a bandit attack in Birnin Gwari local area of Kaduna State. Muhammad died from gunshot wounds sustained during the attack on his farm on Wednesday. This is contained in a statement issued by the chairman of the Birnin Gwari Emirate Progressive Union, Ishaq Usman, saying the terrorists abducted 40 farmers. The group described the deceased as a dedicated member of the Birnin Gwari Orphans Foundation, which is committed to caring for thousands of orphans left behind by victims of armed banditry in the area. The union expressed concern over the continuous attacks on farmers, which led to approximately 70% of farmlands being inaccessible. He noted that the development had jeopardized this year's farming output. About 4 people died, while 10 others sustained varying degrees of injuries in an accident involving 2 vehicles on Gumel to Kano Road in Jigawa. The spokesman of the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) in the state, Mr. Ibrahim Gambo, confirmed the accident in a road traffic report in Dose today. He told News Agency of Nigeria NAN that the accident occurred at about 12:25 a.m. when a bus had a head-on collision with an oncoming vehicle at Achawaya village in Gumel local government area of the state. He said that 4 male passengers were certified dead by a medical doctor at a hospital in the area, while 7 other males and 3 females were receiving treatment. He advised motorists to shun night journeys and respect traffic rules to ensure safety on the road. You are listening to the news from the studio of Sawaba. Stay tuned for the rest. You are welcome back. The board of newly established Khalifa Isa Karabi University, Kano, has approved the appointment of Professor Abdurrashid Garba as its pioneer vice chancellor. This is contained in a statement issued by the institution's administrative secretary, Yusuf Detti, today in Kano. Mr. Garba is a former registrar of the National Examination Council, NECO, and former deputy vice chancellor of Bayero University, Kano. According to Mr. Detti, the appointment was approved by the board under the chairmanship of Professor Sani Zaharuddin, who is the chief imam of Kano and former vice chancellor of Bayero. Magajiri Kado yesterday confirmed that the agency has arrested 8 people for the missing of 4 billion naira belonging to the state government. Muhi alleged that the funds were allegedly funded from the coffers of Kano Agricultural Supply Company during the tail end of the last administration. During an investigation carried by the chairman, a warehouse was discovered where the missing money was said to have been used for the purchase of exotic cars, heavy-duty trucks and tractors in Kumbo's local government area of the state. According According to him, the funds were fraudulently transferred from Kano Agricultural Supply Company to an association registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission. He explained that the funds were allegedly withdrawn from the Kano state government as a grant to Kano Agricultural Supply Company, but was siphoned using the registered corporate association and a business and identified limestone company. Furthermore, he explained that the commission is not satisfied on how some transactions were being made between the companies and some banks, alerting that some bank managers may be invited to clear some issues. Yobe State House of Assembly says it has received the first batch of commissioner nominees sent by Governor Mai Malabuni. The Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Chu Mama Shu, disclosed this during the passage of a resolution on the deferment of 17 billion naira to augment some costs in the 2023 budget. Batch of commissioner nominees. During the sitting, the House passed a resolution on the deferment of 17 billion naira to augment some costs in the 2023 approved budget after receiving the report of its standing committee on finance and appropriation on deferment. While shedding more light on deferment, the chairman House Committee on Finance and Appropriation, Honorable Buba Ibrahim Kalalawa, said deferment, which is an internal adjustment within some codes of the budget, will not affect the size of the approved budget. A clash is imminent as the coups in the Republic of Niger have sought Russia's help in the face of military threats by the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS. The regional body, which has the backing of the Western countries and United Nations, has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the military junta to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum as democratically elected president or face a range of stiff sanctions. It has also tasked all chief of defense staff of the member states to proceed for an emergency meeting to strategize on effective ways to implement a possible military operation to restore constitutional order to office. General Abdurrahman Chiani, also known as Umar Chiani, and the chief of Niger's presidential guard, has declared himself leader, while the country's elected president has been held by the military since the coup took place last week. Even on Saturday, the African Union AU gave the soldiers 15 days to return to their barracks and restore civil rule in the country. But the country's military leaders, in a statement read on Niger national television yesterday, warned ECOWAS not to send troops to their country. That has been end of the news, but before I go, recap of the major story. You heard President Bola Ahmed Tinubu address Nigerians tonight. Bandits kill Jibril's vice chairman and abduct 40 farmers in Kaduna. Niger coups seek Russia's help as ECOWAS mounts military action. On behalf of the Department of News, our editor Muhammad Suleiman Yobi, I am Khadija Nulamin Eleman saying good afternoon.